We're dreaming of reaching our first 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe and be the first to discover new stories every day. I'm in the kitchen of our Park Slope brownstone, scrolling through my phone, trying to ignore the fact that Sarah's been giving me the cold shoulder for weeks. It's 6 p.m., and the house is quiet except for the hum of the fridge and the occasional car horn outside. 2 months. No real conversation, no date nights, just her swiping through her phone and me buried in work. I'm a freelance software consultant, pulling 6 figures coding for startups, but you'd think I was flipping burgers from the way she talks about my job. I'm done with this freeze out. I've got a plan. Tickets to her favorite theater downtown, a table at Luigi's, the whole deal. I want us to feel like us again. Sarah walks in, her heels clicking on the hardwood like she's making a point. She's in her work clothes, sleek blazer, pencil skirt, hair pulled back tight. She doesn't look at me, just heads for the fridge, grabs a sparkling water, and pops it open with a hiss that cuts the air. I set my phone down, lean back on the counter, and say, "Hey, Sarah, hold up." My voice is calm, but there's a steel in it I don't bother hiding. She stops, half turning, one eyebrow raised like I'm interrupting her big moment. "What, Matt?" she says, her tone flat, almost bored, like she's daring me to say something worth her time. I keep my eyes on her, steady. We haven't done anything together in forever. I got us tickets to that theater you love, Orpheum, front row. Dinner at Luigi's after. You in for tomorrow night? I keep it light, but I'm watching her, waiting for the real Sarah to show up. She lets out a sharp laugh, like I just told a bad joke, and shakes her head. "A night out? Really, Matt?" Her voice drips with sarcasm, loud enough to echo off the cabinets. "You think one dinner's gonna fix this? You're adorable." I tilt my head, keeping my face neutral. "Fix what exactly?" I say, my tone even but with a bite. "I'm offering us a night to reconnect. You got a better plan? Let's hear it." She crosses her arms, leaning against the doorway, her lips curling into a smirk. "Oh, please. Don't act like you're some romantic hero. You're barely here, Matt. Always on your laptop, coding your little apps. You want a night? I want a month without you. How's that for a deal?" Her voice is sharp, like she's been holding this line in her back pocket, waiting to throw it. I laugh, short and dry, not because it's funny, but because it's so damn predictable. She's tossing out a grenade, testing if I'll flinch or beg. I don't. "A month, huh?" I say, standing up straight, brushing my hands together like I'm dusting off her words. "That's a big ask, Sarah. You sure you can handle that kind of quiet?" Her smirk falters for a split second, but she doubles down, tossing her hair back. "Oh, I'd manage just fine," she says, her voice loud, with that irritated edge she gets when she thinks she's got the upper hand. "You're not exactly irreplaceable, you know. I could use the space to actually breathe." I nod, slow, like I'm mulling it over. Inside, I'm already done, not hurt, not pissed, just crystal clear. She wants to play this game? I'm not here to lose. "All right," I say, my voice low and deliberate. "You want a month? You got it. Let's see how you like it when I'm not around to play your punching bag." I turn and head to the bedroom, her eyes burning holes in my back. I don't look back. I grab my duffel from the closet, start tossing in clothes, shirts, jeans, socks, whatever I'll need for a while. The sound of the zipper rips through the quiet, and that's when she finally gets it. "Matt, what the hell are you doing?" she says, her voice jumping an octave, all that confidence cracking like thin ice. I keep packing, not turning around. "You said a month, Sarah. I'm just giving you what you asked for. Don't backtrack now." My voice is cold, matter of fact, like I'm stating the obvious. She storms into the room, her arms flailing a bit, like she's trying to catch up to her own words. "You're actually packing a bag over this?" she says, her voice loud with disbelief, but there's panic creeping in. "God, you're so dramatic." It was a figure of speech. I zip the bag shut, sling it over my shoulder, and finally look at her. "Dramatic? Nah, I'm just respecting your wishes. You want space? You'll get it. But don't expect me to sit around waiting for you to decide when you're done playing." I walk past her, heading for the door, and add, "Oh, and one thing. Time doesn't run backward. You sure about this deal?" She's standing there, mouth half open, like she's waiting for me to crack first. "You're really doing this?" she says, her voice softer now, almost pleading, but still with that edge of defiance. "Over one stupid comment." I pause at the door, keys in hand, and look back. One comment, "Sarah, you've been throwing jabs for months. I'm just done catching them. Enjoy your month." My voice is steady, final, like a judge dropping the gavel. I'm out the door, the click of the lock behind me louder than anything she could say. The next morning, I'm at a coffee shop in Williamsburg, sipping a black coffee, scrolling through apartment listings on my laptop. My phone buzzes, Sarah's first text. "You're really mad over this?" "I was just tired, Matt. Come on." I read it, set the phone down, and keep scrolling. An hour later, another one. "You're overreacting. Can we just talk?" By noon, it's, "My card's blocked. Can you at least transfer some money to my account?" I almost laugh out loud. She's still trying to run the show, like I'm her personal assistant. I don't reply. I've already found a short-term lease, a one-bedroom in Greenpoint, far enough from Park Slope to feel like a clean break. It's not much, but it's mine. I changed my number that afternoon. No heads up, no explanation. She wanted a month? She's getting it, and I'm not here to chase her approval. I drop my wedding ring off at a jeweler's on my way to the new place. The guy behind the counter, an older dude with glasses perched on his nose, looks at me like he's seen this movie before. "You sure about this?" he asks, holding up the ring. "Never been surer," I say, my voice flat. No room for doubt. He shrugs, hands me a receipt, and I'm out the door. That night, I'm unpacking in the new apartment. Bare walls, a mattress on the floor, a folding chair in the corner. My phone pings with an email from Sarah's mom, Linda, who's never been my biggest fan. "Matt, this isn't how a man handles things. You just left without a word. That's weak." I stare at the screen, feeling that itch to fire back something sharp. Instead, I keep it short. "Linda, I'm just respecting myself. I get that's hard for you to wrap your head around." Send. Done. I'm not here to argue with her cheerleader. Inside, I'm thinking, she wants to call me weak? Fine. Let's see how strong Sarah feels when she's got no one to push around. A week later, I'm at a bar in Williamsburg with my buddy Jake, a contractor who's been my friend since our days at NYU. He's a big guy, all beard and flannel, with a laugh that shakes the room. We're sipping sodas. Jake's off alcohol since his daughter was born, and he's shaking his head as I tell him the whole story. "Man, she really thought you'd just eat that crap and stay," he says, his voice booming with amusement. "Sarah's got no clue who she's messing with." "Yeah, well," I say, leaning back in the booth, "she's about to find out." I fill him in on the tickets, the dinner plan, her month without me line. Jake snorts, slamming his glass down hard enough to make the table shake. "That's textbook, bro. She's testing you, throwing out ultimatums to see if you'll grovel. Then she'll cry when you actually walk." "Exactly," I say, tapping the table with my finger. So I walked. Let's see how she likes the view from the other side. Jake grins, but his eyes are serious. "You're doing the right thing, Matt. She's been pulling this for years, little digs, acting like you're not enough. Remember that barbecue last summer? She was all, 'Oh, Matt's too busy with his little coding projects in front of everyone.'" I wanted to shake her. I nod, remembering that day. It was at Tom and Emily's place, a backyard full of our friends. And Sarah spent the whole time dropping snide comments about my work, like it's some hobby I tinker with instead of a career that pays for her designer bags. "Yeah," I say, my voice low. "She's been building up to this for a while. I just stopped playing along." Jake raises his glass. "To knowing your worth," he says, his voice gruff but warm. I clink mine against it. "To not chasing someone who doesn't see it," I add, and we drink. Inside, I'm thinking, if she wants to act like I'm disposable, let's see how she handles me actually being gone. The next big clash comes 2 weeks later at a dinner party thrown by Emily, one of Sarah's oldest friends. Emily's always been neutral, but she leans towards Sarah's side, probably because they've known each other since high school. I wasn't planning to go, didn't want the drama, but Emily texted me directly, saying it'd be good for everyone if I showed up. I figure why not? I'm not the one hiding. I walk into Emily's loft in Dumbo, the place packed with our usual crowd: Tom, Emily's husband, a finance guy with a loud laugh, Rachel, Sarah's coworker who's always stirring the pot, and a few others I know less well. Sarah's already there, holding court at the dining table, her laugh too loud, her sparkling water glass half empty. She spots me, and her smile tightens, like she's been caught off guard. "Matt," she says, her voice sugary but with that familiar venom. Didn't expect you to crawl out of your cave. The table goes quiet. Emily looks down at her plate, rearranging her fork. Tom lets out a nervous chuckle. I slide into a chair across from Sarah, keeping my face neutral. Yeah, well, I say, my voice light but sharp. I figured I'd give you a break from missing me. Her eyes narrow, but she laughs, like she's brushing it off. Oh, please, she says, leaning forward, her voice carrying across the table. You're the one who ran off. What was it, Matt? Couldn't handle a little honesty? Her tone is loud, performative, like she's playing to the room. I lean back, crossing my arms, letting her words hang in the air. Everyone's watching now, forks paused mid-bite. Honesty, I say, my voice calm but cutting, like a blade sliding clean. You mean like when you said you wanted a month without me? I just took you at your word, Sarah. Thought you'd appreciate me listening for once. Her face flushes, but she doesn't back down. You're twisting it, she snaps, her voice rising, sharp with irritation. I was stressed, okay? You didn't have to pack a bag and play the victim. I laugh, short and dry, loud enough to make Rachel flinch. Victim? Nah, I'm just giving you what you asked for. You said I'm not irreplaceable, right? So why were you so pissed I'm not begging to come back? My voice is steady, but there's a bite in it, and I can see it land. The table's dead silent now. Emily clears her throat, trying to pivot. The lasagna's great, right? She says, her voice too bright. But Sarah's not done. She leans in, her voice low and venomous, like she's trying to keep this between us, but knows everyone's listening. You think you're so above it all, Matt. But you're just running. You always do when things get hard. I hold her gaze, not blinking. Hard, I say, my voice cold and deliberate. Hard is putting up with your constant tests for years. Hard is planning a night for us and getting told I'm not enough. Hard is hearing you tell our friends I'm just some guy with little projects. I'm done with hard, Sarah. You want a month? You've got it. Let's see how you like it when I'm not your punching bag. Her mouth opens, but nothing comes out. Rachel tries to jump in, always quick to back Sarah up. Come on, Matt, she says, her voice sharp. You're making this bigger than it is. She was just venting. I turn to Rachel, my smile tight, but polite. Venting? Rachel, if I told you I wanted a month without you in front of a room full of people, would you call that venting? I pause, letting it sink in. Or would you call it a choice? Rachel blinks, caught off guard, and mutters something about needing more water. Tom coughs, breaking the tension, and says, anyone want dessert? The room laughs, but it's forced, awkward. Sarah's staring at her plate, her jaw tight, her fingers wide around her glass. I take a sip of my soda, feeling the weight of every eye on me. I don't care. I said what needed saying, and I'm not here to play nice. Inside, I'm thinking, she thought she could embarrass me in front of everyone, and I'd just take it. Wrong move. A few days later, I'm at work, debugging code for a startup client, when my phone buzzes with a text from Tom. Yo, Matt, you good? Sarah's been telling people you abandoned her. What's the deal? I roll my eyes, typing back. She wanted a month without me. I gave it to her. Tell her to stop rewriting the story. Tom replies with a laughing emoji and, man, she's spinning it hard. Stay strong. Tom's a good guy, always trying to keep the peace, but I can tell he's on my side. He's seen Sarah's act before, her little comments at parties, her way of making me sound like less so she can feel like more. That night, I'm at my new place, cooking a burger on a cheap skillet, when Emily calls. Her voice is hesitant, like she's walking on eggshells. Matt, look, she says, Sarah's a mess. She didn't mean half the stuff she said. Can you guys maybe talk? I lean against the counter, staring at the sizzling patty. Emily, I say, keeping my tone even, she meant every word. She just didn't think I'd call her bluff. I'm not here to fix her regrets. Emily sighs, long and heavy. I get it, but she's saying she wants to try again. She's sorry. I laugh, not unkindly, flipping the burger. Sorry's just a word, Em. She wanted control, not me. I'm not going back to that game. She doesn't push. She knows me well enough to hear the line in the sand. Okay, she says quietly. Just take care, Matt. You too. I say, and hang up. Inside, I'm thinking, she's sorry now? Funny how that only happens when she's losing. The next showdown comes at a coffee shop a month later. I'm meeting Jake for a quick catch-up, but Sarah's there, of all places, sitting with Rachel at a corner table. I spot her as I walk in, and she sees me too, her eyes widening like she's been caught stealing. Jake notices and mutters, "Oh, this should be good." I nod at him, keeping my cool, and head to the counter to order. Sarah's voice cuts through the hum of the shop. "Matt, you're really gonna act like I'm not here?" Her tone is loud, accusatory, like she's trying to draw a crowd. I turn, coffee in hand, and look at her, my face blank. "Sarah, I'm just getting coffee. You want a scene? That's on you." My voice is calm, but there's a warning in it, like I'm daring her to push. She stands up, crossing her arms, her voice rising. "A scene? You're the one who walked out, Matt. You left me high and dry, and now you're playing the cool guy?" Rachel's nodding behind her, like a backup singer in a bad band. I take a sip of my coffee, letting her stew for a second. Jake's smirking, leaning back in his chair like he's watching a show. "High and dry," I say, my voice low but sharp. "You told me you wanted a month without me. Said I wasn't irreplaceable. I just listened, Sarah. What's the problem? You got what you wanted." Her face goes red, and she steps closer, her voice dropping to a hiss. "You know I didn't mean it like that. I was pissed off. You didn't have to move out and ghost me." I raise an eyebrow, keeping my tone steady. "Ghost you? I gave you exactly what you asked for. You don't get to rewrite the rules now because you don't like the score." I pause, glancing at Rachel, who's looking uncomfortable now. "And Rachel, you can stop nodding like you know the story. You weren't there when she threw that ultimatum." Rachel flushes, looking away. Sarah's eyes flash, but she's losing steam. "You're impossible," she says, her voice shaking, but it's more frustration than fight now. "You think you're so perfect, Matt. You're not." I shrug, taking another sip. "Never said I was. But I'm not your doormat either. You wanted to play games? You lost. Deal with it." I nod to Jake, who's barely hiding his grin, and we walk out, leaving Sarah standing there, her mouth open, no comeback ready. Jake claps me on the shoulder as we hit the street. "Damn, man," he says, laughing. "You just buried her." She didn't see that coming. She never does. I say, my voice flat but satisfied. Inside, I'm thinking, if she wants to keep swinging, she's gonna keep missing. 2 months later, I'm in a lawyer's office in Midtown, signing divorce papers. Sarah's across the table, her eyes red, her hands twisting a tissue. She's been quiet the whole meeting, letting her lawyer do the talking, but now she looks up, her voice shaky. "Matt, can we just talk? I didn't mean for this. I was just frustrated. Can we try again?" Her tone's soft, almost desperate, like she's finally realized the stakes. I lean back in my chair, looking at her, really seeing her for the first time in years. She's not the woman I married, or maybe I just see the real her now. Someone who thought she could control the board and still keep all the pieces. "Sarah," I say, my voice calm but firm, like I'm explaining something simple. "You offered me a deal. A month without me. I took it. You don't get to change the terms now because you don't like how it played out." Her mouth trembles, but she doesn't cry. "You're really doing this," she says, almost a whisper, her voice breaking. "You're just done?" I nod, sliding the signed papers across the table to the lawyer. "You wanted a game, Sarah," I say, my voice cold, final, like a door locking shut. "I just played it better. Good luck." I stand, shake the lawyer's hand, and walk out, my steps steady, no glance back. The air outside feels clean, sharp, like a fresh start. 6 months later, I'm grabbing coffee at a spot near my new office in Flatiron. I'm working with a new startup now, coding an app that's getting some buzz, and life's good. Gym in the mornings, beers with Jake on weekends, no drama. I'm at the counter, waiting for my order, when I see Sarah at a table in the corner, scrolling through her phone, looking tired, her hair messier than usual. She spots me and freezes, like she's debating whether to say something. I don't give her the chance to decide. I walk over, coffee in hand, and nod. "Hey," I say, keeping it neutral, like we're just old acquaintances. "Hey," she says, her voice small, uncertain, like she's testing the waters. "You look good, Matt." "Thanks," I say, my tone even. "You doing okay?" She hesitates, then lets out a shaky laugh, her eyes dropping to her coffee cup. "Not really," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "I messed up, Matt. I didn't realize what I had until you were gone. I'm sorry." I wait, letting the silence sit heavy between us. She looks up, her eyes hopeful, like she's waiting for me to throw her a rope. I don't. You made a choice, Sarah. I say, my voice steady, no anger, no warmth. I respected it. That's all there is to it. Her face crumples, but she nods, swallowing hard. I know, she whispers. I wish I could take it back. I shrug, taking a sip of my coffee. I don't. I say, my voice calm but final. I'm good now. Really good. Take care, Sarah. I give her a small nod, turn, and walk out. The city's buzzing around me. Horns, chatter, the hum of life. I feel lighter than I have in years.